Alone? That is the golden question. Do aliens exist? What is the probability that we are the only civilization to have evolved in the universe? To answer this question, scientists usually refer to what is known as the Drake equation. Created by Frank Drake in 1961, this equation was unable to give a credible answer as many of the variables in the question were unknown. But now, with the advancement of science, we are able to fill in the blanks of the equation and come up with a more concrete guesstimate. Well, guess what? The probability of life somewhere out there in the universe is much higher than you may think. In fact, it is almost a mathematical certainty that aliens exist because of the sheer size of the universe. It is extremely likely that a civilization as advanced as ours had existed before, and even exists now. Having said that, do we have any sort of evidence or proof that aliens exist? Well, in this video, we are going to look at the 5 strongest signs of aliens and alien life. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel below and give this video a big thumbs up. Let's go viral! One of the most intriguing works of ancient engineering and architecture are the Great Pyramids of Egypt. It is hard to imagine the ancient man capable of building such a great piece of architecture without modern technology. Even engineers today, with all their modern tools and machinery, would find such a feat extremely difficult and challenging. The monolith blocks which were used to build the pyramids weigh 2 tons each, with some of them weighing as high as 50 tons. The Egyptians had not discovered the wheel at that time, and to move such a high volume of blocks across the Nile River is nothing short of extraordinary. The pyramids were also built to extreme mathematical accuracy and proportions. Everything from its height, width, and angles are measured to be close to perfection. Not to mention, the pyramids of the Giza complex are aligned exactly with the belt of Orion, facing perfectly north. Many people claim that such precision in engineering and astronomy is only possible with the help of alien knowledge and technology. Furthermore, many artifacts found in these sites appear to show proof of some advanced techniques and machinery that cannot be produced by the toolkits presented to us by Egyptologists. One example is the perfectly rounded holes drilled through some of the hardest materials on Earth. How is it possible that ancient Egyptians are able to create such perfectly rounded holes without the use of any modern drills? Remember the time when your mom used to say it's for your own good? Well, when it comes to the US government covering up UFOs and alien abductions, they're acting like your mom. Ever since the Roswell incident in 1947, they've covered up the existence of aliens for years. This view is shared by astronaut Edgar Mitchell, an Apollo astronaut who used to serve in the military. He claims that the government is perpetuating cover-ups of alien sightings, going all the way back to the legendary 1947 Roswell incident, where an alleged alien spacecraft crashed and bodies were allegedly discovered. The government had since denied the crash ever happened, and according to Mitchell, the reason for the denial is, number 1, they're not sure if the aliens were hostile and are we capable to protect ourselves from them. Number 2, they didn't want the Soviets to discover the UFO technology, so they devised a plan and covered the whole thing up. At first, Air Force officers reported that they had found parts and debris from a flying disc that had crashed. Later, in the official report, instead of mentioning about the UFO, they lied and said the debris came from a downed weather balloon. One thing we must consider when discussing the possibility for the existence of extraterrestrial life is the sheer size of the universe. You may be skeptical when it comes to so-called alien conspiracy theories with their less than credible photos and videos. However, even the most skeptical minds cannot deny that due to the incredible magnitude of our universe, it is hard to discredit the fact that some life forms must exist somewhere out there. To truly understand this argument, we must first have a clearer picture of just how big the universe is. It is estimated that the diameter of the observable universe is about 28.5 gigaparsecs, which translates to about 93 billion light-years. This puts the age of the observable universe at about 46.5 billion light-years away. That is a very huge number, and we're only talking about the size of the universe that we can observe. To put this in perspective, Imagine the size of the Sun. The Sun is so big that it can fit approximately 1.3 million planet Earths inside it. In our solar system, we all know there is only one Sun, but it may surprise you to know that in the Milky Way galaxy alone, there are estimated to be about 200 billion suns or more. It is predicted that there is at least 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe, and the Milky Way is only one of them. When you start thinking of the universe in these terms, it is hardly far-fetched to assume that alien life must exist. The only question is, will we live long enough in our lifetimes to come in contact with alien life? It is true that life requires a certain list of conditions to exist, such as liquid water as well as a source for energy. However, life is much more robust than we think. Almost everywhere scientists go on Earth, they find life. The cold, dark depths of the oceans, snuggled up to the piping hot hydrothermal vents, buried under the Antarctic ice, and in South America's parched Atacama Desert. Life can adapt to really tough conditions, and of course, most of the universe is going to be filled with habitats that are tough. For example, Mars is a harsh environment, but some of the microbes found on Earth, including the one shown here, found deep in a mine, could survive beneath the surface of the red planet. These findings of so-called extremophiles have allowed scientists to scale back their list of requirements for extraterrestrial life. Also, life evolved fairly quickly on Earth. Scientists estimate that the Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. The earliest evidence of life comes from 3.4 billion-year-old mats of bacteria called stromatolites in Australia. Since even bacteria are considered biologically complex, scientists think life arose on Earth at an even earlier time. Considering that the universe is predicted to be about 14 billion years old, with more than 100 billion habitable Earth-like planets in the Milky Way alone, I'd say that we can be fairly certain that there is plenty of time and opportunity for alien life to form. When we first hear about alien abductions, it is easy to dismiss the entire idea as crazy or unprovable nonsense. However, after doing a little research into the matter, you will find that there is actually a lot of evidence that supports their occurrence. Since the late 1950s, there have literally been millions of claims from people worldwide of being taken by extraterrestrial beings, often on board a craft and into some kind of operating room where various invasive medical procedures are carried out. Some key similarities found in the majority of abduction claims include hours of missing time, gaps in memory, mysterious injuries, scars or implants, disorientation, reproductive issues, and other post-traumatic stress symptoms. Abductions are said to take place involving men, women, and children regardless of age, culture, or religious backgrounds. Whether in a car, bedroom, or backyard, alien abductions have been reported as both isolated and repeated incidents where people actually go missing for hours at a time and return without conscious memory of what happened. This is a very disturbing phenomenon that receives little attention because of the ridicule and stigma surrounding it. The implications of these types of activities taking place are very serious and should not be so casually discarded. If this is really happening, it is something that we need to look at objectively to understand what is really going on and why. Despite what you may think about such conspiracy theories, we live at a time where technological advancements are progressing at an extremely rapid pace. Traveling beyond our planet and discovering new horizons in the universe is no longer a fictional dream, but a very real possibility. There are many more interesting and mind-blowing things to discover in our huge and magnificent universe, and we may soon discover that we are not alone after all. So, what do you think? Do you believe that aliens exist? Will we be lucky enough to meet an intelligent alien being in our lifetimes? Let me know in the comments below. That's all the time we have for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my video below.